Hi everyone, hope you are doing well. So this video, it's going to be a pick a card reading for the new moon in Scorpio on the 13th of November. We've got 3 different sets of cards in front of us here. So I've chosen to do little bottles of things for this reading. So for the first group, you have a little jar with starflower leaves in it, or borage, however you want to pronounce it. So that's the first set of cards is with starflower leaves. For the second set of cards, we have salt. This is rock salt, a little jar of rock salt. And for the third group, we have a bottle of sage. It's mainly stalks because that's pretty much what I had left. I've used up most of the leaves, so it's mainly stalks, but that's sage for the third group. So have a look at the sets of cards, which one or which set sort of appeals to you, calls out to you, starflower, salt, or sage. And I'll put timestamps down below as well so that you can skip to the relevant one. And I think I've mentioned this before, that when I watch pick a card readings, I often mentally at the beginning, I'll decide which one appeals to me, but then I'll watch all of them anyway. But it's up to you. You can choose 1, 2, or all 3 of them, whatever calls out to you. So take a moment. You might want to pause the video and then we can get straight onto your reading. So welcome again to those of you who chose the first set of cards, which was with the starflower leaves. I just wanted to say before I start, thank you for the support, whether it's that you watch the video, like it, subscribe to the channel, share the video, whatever, anything is welcome and appreciated. So I just wanted to say thank you for that. I haven't actually recorded moon related videos in probably just for a few weeks. It's just time and energy. So yeah, but first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with a moonology card. So I am going to get into a reading with a spread and everything, but I just thought I have the moonology deck and I'm actually finding I prefer to use it this way for readings at present. So whatever sign the moon is in for full moon or new moon, I like to read the message here. So this one for the new moon in Scorpio, it says work through your fear. So I'll put that there and read the message just before I start doing your actual reading, if I can find it. So it says, work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio. This card suggests a rebirth. Think of your situation as the phoenix that's rising from the ashes, as the birth, death, rebirth paradigm. That's what Scorpio energy is all about. Whatever you've been through, there's a new start ahead. It might be a little dark. It almost certainly won't be rainbows and unicorns, but it will be deep and transforming. This card also suggests that if you know you are magical, then this is the time to work your magic. It can also herald the start of a sexier time if you've been experiencing something of a drought, and emotional intimacy is also on the menu. Scorpio is the sign that likes to go deep into body, mind and spirit. So when this card comes up, there's nothing superficial about what's coming your way. It says, attune to the moon, have some sexy time. Additional meanings for this card: time to let go of a grudge you're holding, move on from jealousy, stop being obsessive. Could it be you're being paranoid? Make an investment. The teaching says Scorpio is the sign of death and rebirth, magic and shamans. Its energy is a little bit dark, occult, even scary. Not all of us like to face the shadow, but Scorpio demands it. In fact, it's through working through your dark side that you can get to the light, and the new moon in Scorpio and the appearance of this card at any other time suggests you need to do that now. So that's just to give you a bit of guidance on some themes that can come up around the new moon in Scorpio. So I will quickly say about starflower. It can be a herb that helps with courage, confidence, amongst many other things. One of the ways I've been using it, this is food grade, so I've used it in teas. I think if I used it in the bath, I may have made a bit of a soap with it, and sometimes I'll carry it around in a little pouch just to give me a feeling of an extra boost of confidence. So I'll put it under my pillow if I'm going through a difficult time. But anyway, I haven't seen these cards, so when I turn them over, I don't know what's going to happen. Let's see what you've got. So you have ecstasy, okay. It's not, I don't think it's particularly sexual, but it could be, that could be something that comes up here. So you've got ecstasy, yielding, rapture, bliss. And I think this is more about sort of surrender and pleasure. What else do you get here? You get the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so the Two of Pentacles, it's juggling, isn't it? That can be whether it's juggling day-to-day life, the balance between work and play, decisions, just trying to get more balance in general. So there could be something here for you where you may be wanting to set intentions around this new moon, around a better balance of pleasure and responsibility potentially. So let's leave these. Where am I going to put these? Okay, I'm going to take that away first of all because we don't need that here. And bear with me on this because this is like a new structure for me in the new moon, the way I do the new moon reading. So I'm kind of playing it by ear. I'm going to look at the brief part of the book for this ecstasy message. So that is 27. And we'll do an actual spread as well. Right, so the blessing of this message says, the ability to surrender to a higher power of your choosing is a valuable experience as well as one which can provide intoxicating levels of delight. The curse of the message says, being enraptured is close to losing yourself, which is one of the keys to the ecstasy it creates. Be sure to stay in touch with your own soul and have a close friend who can remind you of who you are. Working with this card, there is power in the surrender and great soul ecstasy in the finding of one who, for an instant, takes the burden of decisions and gives you great relief and satisfaction and pleasure. Be aware that you must choose this person with great care. It is time, though, for you to admit that in some ways ecstatic experiences are our teacher only when chosen wisely. Okay, so it could be relationship related for some of you. If you are someone who's lacks trust in people relationship wise, and you sort of fear giving up your independence, that may be where you need the balance potentially. Again, as I said, it could be balance between work and play. It could be a balance between like your spiritual side and your material side or physical side as well, if that makes sense. So I think we'll leave these up here for now and see how the rest of the spread goes. So this is, as I say, this is where you may want to set an intention around for the new moon, because new moons are about setting intentions. It's about having a clean slate, that kind of thing. So for the rest of the spread, we're going to look at, first of all, how do you sort of manifest, create this intention? What are the strengths? Like what will aid you in doing this? And I will clarify as well. So what will help you to achieve this intention? What will help group one achieve this intention? Okay, and I forgot to mention support, didn't I? When I was doing this, I was thinking support and I forgot. But yeah, support. Or being receptive to support, or just receptivity in general. So are there any challenges? What are the challenges, obstacles, blocks, or blind spots in sort of moving forward with this intention or achieving it? And okay, if we're going to go down the sexual route as well, there could be something here about in your sex life, if there are any issues where you're not feeling that you're getting what you want out of it, basically. So maybe there's a possibility about creating balance there where you are getting as much pleasure as your partner. And I know that sounds a bit left field, but that's something that's come into mind as well. And I did do a video quite a while ago about embracing your sexual side. So it was along those lines. I can't even remember the entire title now, but that is available on the channel as well, if that's any help to anyone. So any challenges, obstacles, blocks? Okay, let's see what we've got here. We have the Fool. I mean, that's kind of having an open mind, isn't it? And again, it's vulnerability is something often associated with that. So again, if it was a relationship issue, I'm going to try that again. If it was a relationship issue, it's being willing to open up and express how you're feeling, what you're lacking, what you want, what you desire. So this is, and I didn't actually ask what it was, the solution. I'm going to try that again. Solution, because I didn't actually express it, did I? The solution. What's the solution here, or the advice with the intention? Right, we've got the Four of Cups. Again, for me, that's it's kind of expressing it, because if you're feeling disappointed, the only way you're going to resolve it is by saying how you feel, rather than holding it in and kind of brooding on it. Right, what's the best outcome here? What is the best possible outcome? And if it's non-relationship related, whatever it is, whatever area of your life that you may feel there's a lack of balance, you may not even acknowledge it, and that might be the issue. Is that, you know, sometimes we get on with life, with day-to-day life, and we just don't even, we know there's something in us that doesn't feel quite satisfied, but we just focus on trying to get on with it. And it's sort of, maybe the point is acknowledging what's disappointing you. You know, sometimes you feel something's missing, but you don't really, you try to sort of avoid it or just focus on other things. So best outcome is the King of Wands, and that's about taking action, isn't it? That's about being proactive, whatever is missing or lacking or whatever it is that you want, going for it basically. So let's get a little bit more clarity on everything. Let's look at that Two of Pentacles first. So that was the part of the intention. And yeah, as I say, I think first and foremost, it would be about achieving balance in whatever it is that you're doing. I would say balance more towards your own satisfaction. And as surrender will be involved with that, whether it's surrender to another person, surrender to acknowledging this Four of Cups energy of dissatisfaction, surrendering to being vulnerable, surrendering to receptivity, surrendering to taking action, to being proactive as well. So the Two of Pentacles, why is that there, please, as an intention that you may want to set? You may be thinking about it already, to be honest. So the Two of Pentacles, why is that there for our Starflower group? Right, the Hermit. Okay, so that kind of goes with what I said about acknowledging where there's a lack of balance or where you're dissatisfied. Because the Hermit is someone that goes inward, don't they? And they're introspective. But if it's in reverse, sometimes it means that that's something that isn't being done, or it's being avoided, or whatever it is. So anything else for the Two of Pentacles? That's the Three of Cups there. Are you too focused on other people, potentially? That's something that could come up here. Are you someone who cares more about whether everyone else is happy and satisfied than yourself? Or is that where you're not allowing yourself to play, whatever that means for you, whether it is letting your hair down, if you have long hair, letting your hair down, you know what I mean, metaphorically, and sort of going out and having fun more, whether it is withdrawing a little bit and having time for yourself, because not everybody's a party animal. I mean, I kind of, for the most part, consider myself to be an introvert. I do value greatly my social interactions, but a lot of the time I do kind of prefer my own company, and then that makes the social interactions more valuable for me as well, rather than forcing it, and then it's just like it becomes a burden, doesn't it, because you're just forcing yourself to do it. Right, we've got a Death there. So that's about needing to transform, change something. That is a Scorpio card. Let's get another one. Right, we have the Emperor there, and I'll get one more, and I know that there can be a few meanings for that. And you have the Moon. Right, so with the Emperor there, in reverse, so the Emperor's like the bus, aren't they? They're the bus energy. They are father energy. So with it being in reverse, it can be where you are not being proactive and taking action towards something that needs to change. There is something with the Emperor as well, that they can take on too much responsibility too. So that's another thing here as well. And there can also be control issues with the Emperor too, where the Emperor, I believe in reverse, it can be about misuse of power or just wanting to be too controlling. So again, if there is something here where it involves another person and you are needing to be more receptive in some way, shape or form, that could be where the Emperor comes in, where you need to sort of loosen the reins a little bit and try not to feel like you need to be in control so much. If you've got too many responsibilities, it could be reprioritizing and deciding what you need to drop. Again, if you need to achieve more balance, relax more, whatever it is, then it's being proactive and doing that. So we've got the Moon. Again, that feels like it could be the necessity to, well, first of all, acknowledge where there's a lack of balance or lack of satisfaction. So I'll just get one for the Moon quickly, and then we'll move on to the card of what will assist you or aid you in creating or moving toward the intention, or moving forward with an intention to create more balance. I mean, that's just hidden feelings, hidden thoughts. Again, so it is acknowledging whatever it is that you don't realize, or that you're trying to avoid or deny potentially. Yeah, again, that dissatisfaction. Yeah, whatever's missing, whatever doesn't feel satisfying, it's about acknowledging that. So we'll leave that there. That, again, that's just relating to the intention. So let's look at this one here. This is the what can aid you in moving toward or moving forward with the intention. And again, the first thing I said was kind of receptivity, and it's a balance, can be a balance between give and take as well. So again, sexually, balance between give and take in the bedroom, in life in general. If you've got too many responsibilities, how can you balance things out with whoever else is in your life, if there are others in your life that could take some of the responsibility. Let's look at it. Six of Pentacles. Why is the Six of Pentacles here? So I've got the Seven of Swords. Anything else after that, please? Okay, we've got the Five of Wands. Okay, so with these two coming up, the Five of Wands and the Hierophant, is it something where, say if you've got too much responsibility, are you like avoiding conflict? Is it like, do you feel like it's just easier to just take on too much, or just follow the rules even if you don't agree with them? Is that something that's going on here? Does it feel like that's easier than actually expressing that, yeah, this doesn't feel good to me, it doesn't feel fair, I'm dissatisfied? Let's see what else comes up here. What wanted to come out was the Seven of Wands, and I don't know if I should take it, but that would be a card of needing to stand up for yourself and sort of, you know, where there is anything that's out of balance, to stand up for it and say, look, yeah, this isn't working for me. I mean, yeah, life isn't all about our needs individually, but things need to be fair as they can possibly be. So I'm going to try that again. So that's the Is It Worth It card. And with it being in reverse, I would say it's not. Whatever it is, it's not worth it. Something feels like it's not worth it. Maybe you feel like it's, like I said, it's not worth expressing dissatisfaction, so you're kind of keeping it to yourself. You might be wishing you could sort of sneak off and have it your way, but... Okay, let's get one more for that. Yep, like I said, it's like you feel like you could sneak off so that you could get some peace. And it may be, depending on what your situation is, if it's something where you can't have equal give and take or balance, it's something that you may have to walk away from. Let's get something for the Six of Swords. Why? Because that looks like it's sort of saying that's how you get your peace, doesn't it? Or how you get the balance, because six is our cards of balance and it's Six of Swords. Anything else for that? Right, that's freedom. The Fool there. The Eight of Wands, it's in reverse. So yeah, it's a need for more freedom, and you've got the Fool there twice, haven't you? Because that was that's the challenge, is that you may need more freedom or a sense of freedom. Let's get something for the Seven of Swords. Why is that there? Okay, so that Three of Pentacles, that's about working with others or making things work with others. Right, okay. So that's working with others, isn't it? But with that Sun card and the six, well, these three cards in general coming up, the Sun, Six of Wands, Nine of Cups, being here, it sort of suggests that you want to feel more valued and appreciated, but you're probably not. Or just generally not getting the satisfaction that you want out of a situation. But are you expressing that so that that can happen? Right, I'm going to leave that there. So I feel that what can be to your advantage is expressing and kind of being proactive in getting equal give and take. So whether that means you got to have a conversation with somebody, whether you have to set boundaries with people or situations, it depends on your situation. Maybe you need to break some rules with that Hierophant being there. You just sort of, if you follow the rules all the time and there's no benefit for you, and I'm not talking about doing illegal stuff, but just general, you know what I mean? So let's look at the Fool. That is a challenge or an obstacle, and it's speaking of freedom, vulnerability. So why is the Fool there, please? So the first card is the Ninth. That's independence, liberation. That's the challenge for you, is getting that sense of freedom and yeah. The challenge might be coming out of your comfort zone. So for example, if you are not someone who usually expresses, you're concerned about expressing dissatisfaction within certain situations. It doesn't mean in your whole life. It could be one particular area of your life. Then it's getting out of that comfort zone to express it. Like say sexually, if you're worried, and I know this keeps coming up, I know I keep saying it, but so say if sexually you are someone who you feel like, oh God, I don't want to say anything because then they're going to feel like I'm criticizing them and it's going to knock their self-esteem and that, you know, that sort of feeling. Then but you deserve to be honest with them, for them and for yourself, so that you're both enjoying the situation. Because when you sort of suppress things, it festers, doesn't it? And then it kind of breeds resentment, and then it manifests in other ways. Like say, if your relationship is fine apart from sexually, but you're holding in the fact that you're not satisfied, you might start picking weird little arguments with your partner over stuff that's completely unrelated, because that's just a manifestation of the resentment that's been building up in you. Like if they leave things in places that you don't like, you might pick arguments with them over that, or, you know, it can come out in weird ways, can't it? So we've got the Star there. That's a card of hope, isn't it? Healing, hope, faith. I don't know why I'm thinking with this Star coming up all of a sudden as well. It could, even if it was like in terms of a job where you're not satisfied, you might just sort of be feeling to yourself, oh, well, I've just got to pay the bills and get on with it, even though I'd really hate it. There might be something out there for you that you would find more satisfying, but maybe you don't have the confidence, or, I mean, Starflower is associated with confidence, isn't it? You don't feel that you have the confidence to pursue it, or you just feel like it's impractical or something. But the challenge here is that freedom to sort of take action, pursue what it is you want. Maybe you don't have faith in that. Let's get one more. Maybe you already have a solid foundation, and you sort of thinking to yourself, oh, I don't want to disrupt that. I don't want to disrupt it. Anything else here? Yeah, that's about where you have to be honest. So the challenge, I would say, is wanting freedom, wanting something new or something different, more pleasurable, more fulfilling, I'm getting with the Star as well. But it's that need to be really honest about it. So I'll put those on top of here. Let's move on to the advice. So the Four of Cups is the advice, and I said it seems like it's about acknowledging the dissatisfaction so that you can actually address it. So I'll try that again. As you can see, there's my battered Queen of Wands, which there's an explanation for that on the community page on the channel. Right, Four of Cups. That's the advice, that's the solution. So you have the Seven of Cups. So that's where you consider your other options, isn't it? where even if you're feeling like, I don't know, I just feel dissatisfied and I can't see a way out, because that can be like complacency, apathy, that kind of energy. The Four of Cups. Seven of Cups is where you look at different perspectives and different opportunities and options and think, well, how can I do this differently? How can I change things? And then the Page of Wands is where you're willing to explore something different and start from scratch. And then, of course, it's a child as well. So there's a sense of playfulness there, a sense of adventure. I would say that out of all of the pages, actually, this one probably would be the most playful and adventurous one. I mean, like with the Page of Cups, they're known to be like creative and playful as well, but they are probably a bit shyer with it, aren't they? Where the Page of Wands is just probably the most confident. I don't know if the most confident, but probably the most open. The Page of Swords is probably more so about learning. The Page of Pentacles is very practical, and that's the kid that's that good kid, aren't they, that does everything that they're told. But this Page of Wands is probably the most liberated, free one, that would be willing to try anything. That's the kid that you have to keep an eye on, because they'll do something that could set the whole house on fire, probably, through their sense of adventure. Anything else for that Four of Cups, please? Right, yeah. I mean, that's potential. The Sun can be potential, optimism, in pursuing whatever it is that your heart is called to. There's the battered Queen of Wands again. And she's very determined. She's determined to get what she wants. She's confident with it. She's not afraid to express herself and say what she wants. So in terms of the advice, first of all, acknowledge what it is that you're dissatisfied about. Don't be afraid to face it and look at other perspectives. What else could you do? Where is there potential? What does your heart want? What are you willing to explore? So finally, the best outcome, the King of Wands, that's where you take your power back, isn't it? As we like to say in tarot, you take your power back, you're proactive, you go for what you want. There's nothing holding you back. So the King of Wands. Okay, so 10 of Cups in reverse. It just, for me, that just means that with that King of Wands, it's like being in this energy, nothing can hold you back from that 10 of Cups. I mean, yes, it is in reverse, so that's where it's a delay or it's a work in progress, isn't it? But it's up to you to take the action towards it. Anything else? So King of Swords, that would be the assertive side of you. If you need to be assertive and express anything to anyone that impacts the situation. The Magician, that's where, again, that's a card of confidence. It's a card of capability. Being in reverse, it just means that it's up to you to be proactive. I feel like it's overcoming the challenges with that King of Wands, embracing that King of Wands energy as a best outcome. That's how you overcome the challenges and create new opportunities for yourself with the Ace of Pentacles. I'll just get one more and then I'll get some final cards of advice for you. King of Wands again, it's just the same thing. Being proactive to overcome any challenges to get towards your intention. Whether, as I say, it be more creating more balance, more pleasure, a better sense of more play. So yeah, let's get your final cards of advice here. So I'm going to get one from the Sacred Power deck. So what else does group 1, the Starflower group, need to know as advice to help them towards any intention they might want to set for the new moon? What does the Starflower group, right? That was really aggressive, wasn't it? So you have communication, first of all. So yeah, whoever you've got to communicate with, where shall I put that? Let's just put it on top here. So whoever you have to communicate with, if there is anyone else involved, you need to do that. And then you have manifestation as well. I mean, again, that's that Magician energy. It's about being proactive, being confident, just using your power to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. And I'm going to get you a card, a final card from the postcards from Spirit deck as well. So, what else does the Starflower group, the first group, need to know? Right, that was really aggressive. Okay, and I think I know what this may mean as well, actually, without reading it. Right, so it says, Dear you, human beings spend a huge percentage of life asleep, not just in bed, but the kind where you forget you are a spiritual, immortal being taking on a temporary human form. It's not your fault, everyone suffers from spiritual amnesia once in a while. As you develop an identity, an ego, you begin to see through the eyes of a small self and have less connection to your soul self. You may not recognize this is going on, but you sure can feel it. We're here to remind you to look through your soul's eyes and see that magic is everywhere. Infinite potential lies in spirit, who is teaming with you to fulfill the contract you made to contribute to the evolution of the whole world. Wake up and remember that all the help you need is orchestrated in the invisible realms. Your mind, in alignment with divine intelligence, is unstoppable. The world is yours to co-create. You are so loved and we are all behind you. And the key word there being co-create, which goes with that manifestation energy as well. So whatever it is that you wanting to achieve, your intention, you need to be proactive as well. And you can call in support too, whether it be from other people, expressing that you need support, or just spiritual support as well. So I'll leave that message there for you, Starflower group. I hope that was helpful to you. Thank you for watching again. If you want to like, share the video, or subscribe to the channel, feel free to do that as well. Thank you for watching and take care. Welcome again to the second group who chose the salt, the little bottle of rock salt. So I haven't seen these cards yet. I don't know what's here, so we'll find out in a minute. I just want to say thank you for all of the support to those of you who like, share, comment on the video, subscribe, anyone who watches the video. All of it is appreciated. So also I'm gonna start by reading this message. So I haven't recorded a moon related video in quite a while, probably for about a few weeks, maybe 3 weeks, just because of time and energy, to be honest. And I wanted to try something different by doing it as pick a card. So I'm just gonna read. I've got a moonology deck, which is this one here, but I actually prefer to use the cards like this. So whatever moon it is, or whatever the sign the moon is in, I like to read the message. So I'm going to read this one here. This is new moon in Scorpio, because the new moon is for the 13th of November and it's in Scorpio. So this one says, work through your fears. I'm just going to read this message before we begin the spread, because this sort of gives us an idea about what type of energies we may be dealing with Scorpio, new moon in Scorpio. So it says, this card suggests a rebirth. Think of your situation as the phoenix that's rising from the ashes, as the birth, death, rebirth paradigm. That's what Scorpio is all about. Whatever you've been through, there's a new start ahead. It might be a little dark. It almost certainly won't be rainbows and unicorns, but it will be deep and transforming. This card also suggests that if you know you are magical, then this is the time to work your magic. It can also herald the start of a sexier time. If you've been experiencing something of a drought, and emotional intimacy is also on the menu. Scorpio is the sign that likes to go deep into body, mind and spirit. So when this card comes up, there's nothing superficial about what's coming your way. So it says, attune to the moon, have more sexy time. Additional meanings for this card: time to let go of a grudge you're holding. Move on from jealousy, stop being obsessive. Could it be you're being paranoid? Make an investment as well. So the teaching says Scorpio is the sign of death and rebirth, magic and shamans. Its energy is a little bit dark, occult and even scary. Not all of us like to face the shadow, but Scorpio demands it. In fact, it's through working through your dark side that you can get to the light. And the new moon in Scorpio and the appearance of this card at any time suggests you need to do that now. So that might be just some of the type of energy that you can be dealing with. So the point of this reading is to help if you have an intention that you want to set, or it may give you an idea of an intention that it might be useful for you to set at this point in time based on whatever it is you're going through. So with the salt, the little bottle of salt here, so salt it can be associated with protection, can't it? So the ways you can use that. I mean, sometimes I carry a little pouch or bottle of salt around me if I feel like I'm going into a situation that could potentially be volatile. You can use it in bath. It can be connected to purification as well. So I'll use it in bath. So like I use it to cleanse the cards actually, just sprinkling salt, a thin bed of salt and put the cards on it. Or you can use it in a bath because there's different types on there. You've got like the Himalayan salt. You have is it like you know the stuff with magnesium, I can't remember what it's called now, for the life of me. It's not magnesium salt, but it is magnesium. Yeah, it's gone. But you know, salt related substances in the bath is cleansing as well. But anyway, let's look at your cards. So you actually got two. I shuffled them the first time and two flew out, and I said no, let's do one. Shuffled it again, two came out again, so I thought okay, it's got to be two for the salt group. Not sure why, but we'll find out. So the first card you get is Nightmare, Psychic. That is really interesting. Psychic protection, shield, bad dreams, and salt protection. I said I put it under my pillow. Did I say I put it under my pillow? I don't know if I did, but I do sometimes as well. As we're putting it in my pocket, so that's a coincidence. You also have knowledge, study, learning, education, if you can see that. And the tarot card you got is the Six of Wands. So that is an unusual combination of cards. We'll find out what that means. I'm just going to read the brief messages for the Nightmare card and the Knowledge card from the book. This is from the Le Vampire's book. So we'll see what that says. So Nightmare number 5. So it says, the blessing of this card. Time to understand that at night we can be vulnerable and begin to work consciously towards lessening the fear of darkness. Reclaiming healthy sleep, diminishing the reliance you may have on sleeping aids, dreams which disturb you will finally be understood and then depart for good. So that might be the knowledge, where the knowledge part comes in about understanding. If you've been having any weird recurring dreams, there could be something about understanding the meaning of that. Because Scorpio is about transformation, isn't it, as well, and facing the shadows, and dreams can be part of our shadows. Right. A shift in your own energy will seal auric entrances to irritating and greedy little entities who are stealing your energy. You now have great support in seeking peaceful sleep, a great and beautiful human need. The curse of the message, you may be living in fear and unable to understand how you can make changes to your sleep patterns. It is time to get information on how to create better sleep. Your sleep patterns may be reversed and you may be experiencing an almost nocturnal existence, which may be affecting your body's chemistry and magnetic field very strongly. Working with this card, know you are protected and shielded when you sleep. You will soon be having nourishing, healing sleeps from which you awaken, revived and ready for each day. So sleep could be an issue for someone out there. And as I say, it may be a case of needing to learn the reasons behind any sleep issues or the reasons behind any unusual dreams that are bothering you. So let's look at the knowledge message. That's number 3. So the blessing says, know you are being called to become a student again, a true student, and follow in the long line of brilliant ones who learn so much and then pass the knowledge on again. Books will figure greatly, as will reading, research and note-taking. There may even be lectures at which you could spy one of your undead friends, radiating happiness that you are finally stepping into the full brilliance of your beautiful intelligence. Okay, that's quite unusual, isn't it? Anyway, let's continue. So the curse of the message says, you may feel that you are tired of study or that you are too old, too busy, too short of money to open the books of knowledge and learn. But the library of the world's wisdom is now being opened to you, and you would do well to have a disciplined approach. Working with this card, you will be divinely guided to find the right course to study and the best books for you to read at this time. You are always learning, and this is what makes you wise. So study could be literal for someone as well. I mean, there's a possibility someone is studying and there's something here where there's an issue with sleep with that. Maybe you're anxious, and with whatever it is you are studying, maybe you're a student and you are suffering from anxiety and sleep is an issue for you. This thing here where it said about being too old, too busy, too short of money, it's like something I'm getting here as well is that it's never too late or you're never too old to learn. And you know, when you get into situations sometimes, like say if you've had health issues for a long time, it's come into mind as well, but you just feel like, oh well, you know what, I've had it for so long now, I might as well just live with it. Like you constantly have leg pain or something like that, and it's just like you suffer where you could sort of, there's more information out there available to you, but you sort of thinking, oh well, I've just got to keep going with it, just get on with it. So I'm going to get some other cards out and clarify how the Six of Wands fits in as well, because that is part of an intention that you might want to set. So it could just be about successfully overcoming the challenges, whether it is a challenge related to sleep or study or both or health or something. But let's get some more cards out. So I have some other questions for the spread. So the first question, after knowing what the intention is what can aid you in creating or moving forward or toward this intention. So any strengths or just anything that will help you in general. So let's just give the cards another shuffle. As I said as well, it could be just something that there's vital within your dreams that you could learn from that will help you with something. So what will help to move forward with this intention? What is the strength here? What will aid or be advantageous? So 3 of Pentacles. So that might involve collaborating with others, whether it's that you obtain information from others, other sources, anything else. So next one, what challenges, obstacles or blind spots or blocks are there within the intention? I'm going to try that again actually. That's Knight of Cups, so that can be about your aspirations. There's Queen of Cups there, that's emotions, but let's try that again. So challenges, obstacles, blocks, blind spots. How confident are you about your ability to succeed as well is something that's coming to mind with that Nightmare. A knowledge card too. Right, so we've got the Sun. That's a challenge, block, blind spot. So that could be about seeing something clearly. Again, if there's something in your dreams that holds the answer for you, it might be that. Right. Any advice, solution to the blocks or challenges? So you have the 5 of Pentacles and the 8 of Wands. So back again to that energy of where it said about feeling like you're too old or whatever it is, too something or not enough something to progress. Is that an issue? Is like there a confidence issue there? That you feel like you don't have enough of something? Because 5 of Pentacles is lack, isn't it? Do you feel like you don't have enough of something to progress? And then it would be getting out of that frame of mind, letting go of that feeling, so that you like believing in your ability to succeed and to progress and move forward would be a solution. And what's the best outcome here? If you take whatever action is necessary, what's the best outcome? 10 of Wands, letting go of a burden. So that makes sense. Again, if there was anything in your dreams that helps to resolve a problem, then you'd let go of a burden. If you have sleep issues, finding out what's behind it, that's letting go of a burden. There are different ways of looking at it. And knowledge as well. If you feel like you don't have enough knowledge about something and you need to learn more, that can help release a burden as well, so that you can move forward in whatever way you want to. So let's clarify. Let's look at that 6 of Wands first. So I'm just going to shuffle the cards again. So why is the 6 of Wands here as part of the intention, please? So this one came out first, didn't it? That was the Fool. So that can be about being, I'd say, having an open mind and being willing to do what you need to do or figure it out. And that's a card of manifestation, that 3 of Wands, isn't it? So again, where it said about, do you feel like you're lacking in something, or you're too old or too young or whatever it is, it's just having a completely optimistic, open mind. And the Sun is can be a card of optimism as well. Anything else for the 6 of Wands, please? The 2 of Cups. Anything else? That might be about support, actually, with that Two of Cups. Do you need to speak to someone, or just open up to someone who can understand your situation? And maybe they'll be able to help, maybe they won't. Maybe it's just being able to talk to someone who understands. Or maybe it's about being willing to give, to put the energy into whatever it is that you want to pursue, if there's something that you want to pursue. Anything else? Anything else for the Six of Wands, please? Right, okay, that is more about being on the same page and support, isn't it, for me? When, I don't know why this keeps coming up. This has come up in a few readings where you get like the King, well, I think it's specifically been the King of Cups and Queen of Cups together, and they are literally facing each other here. That's about, yeah, for me it's about understanding. It can be appreciation as well, because the Six of Wands can be to do with appreciation. So the overall intention, I would say, first of all, it's about being open-minded enough to do whatever you need to do to overcome a challenge or pursue a goal, whatever that is. But it looks like here there's something here where you need some kind of understanding or appreciation, or to be valued as well. Okay. Or you may need emotional support, actually, is what I'm thinking, with the King and Queen of Cups, because they could offer that, couldn't they? So let's look at the Three of Pentacles. That is a strength, or whatever it is, that can aid you in moving forward with this intention. And again, that support, well, that can be support. It's collaboration, isn't it, with the Three of Pentacles? Someone who can work with you, or people who can work with you, or elements towards this within a situation that can help you. So we've got the Wheel of Fortune there. And the word luck, I mean, I wouldn't say luck is something, for me personally, that comes to mind with the Wheel of Fortune straight away. Like, I know that luck would be mentioned if you research tarot, but for me, it's usually change, I would say, for me. But for some reason, luck is coming to mind straight away with that Wheel of Fortune. Anything else? So you've got the Star, and you've got the Page of Pentacles, both in reverse there. Do you feel like that? I mean, I don't know if you feel this, or there's something about needing to be in the right place at the right time. That's an interesting one. You've got the Three of Swords there. And the Two of Wands upright as well. Let's clarify that Wheel of Fortune on its own. Anything else with that Wheel of Fortune? Could be about the right opportunity, but yeah, there's definitely a feeling there of being in the right place at the right time. So, but we can create that ourselves by pursuing opportunities and being open to opportunities. Then we create like an energy where we can be in the right place at the right time. See, that's where you have options or perspectives, but with the Knight of Cups in reverse, it's like holding back from that, or it could be assessing them. But let's see. Anything else for that? We've got the Ten of Wands there. Anything else? So right, we've got the Eight of Wands, which I believe is in reverse, and we've got the Six of Pentacles, and that's a card of, again, it's generosity, it's support, isn't it? But then with the Eight of Pentacles, sorry, not Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Wands in reverse, that it can be movement, it can be communication as well. And I think what it's giving here is if it is something about collaboration or support is needed to, with this intention, then it's needing to communicate the need for support and assistance, or whatever it is that you do need to to get through this, isn't it, really? So here's where you look at the perspectives and you assess them, but then you have to actually go towards it, which is pretty obvious. You have to go towards it. It's like creating your own luck by being open, being receptive. See, the star here and the Page of Pentacles for me, it kind of feels like lack of confidence a little bit in a way, or lack of belief in something, that a particular thing can work out. So again, back to say, if you had a health issue or any kind of issue really, and you just feel like, oh well, I've lived with it for so long, what's the point? I've dealt with it long enough now, I can just keep going with it. And then you've got that 10 of Wands there, haven't you? Do you feel that there can be change? I don't know. You get to decide if you feel like there can be change. But again, what will help you may need collaboration, whether it's to gain information from other people or support in general. So we'll put these back. And say if you were a student as well and you were struggling, there could be something there where you need more support. That would cause sleepless nights if you were struggling as a student or struggling on a course or something. You know, don't be afraid to ask for support. Or if you need to gain more knowledge in something in particular, but you're not sure how to get it or where to get it from, or say if you wanted to study and you feel like you can't get the funding or whatever, anything like that, what are your other options? So the Sun is the challenge, obstacle, block, blind spot, whatever you want to call it. That's where I said that something may not be, I believe I said it was where something might not be clear enough or needs to be clearer. So let's look at the Sun as a challenge. You've got the World. You have the Lovers. You've got the 10 of Wands again. Let me just get that because that has fallen. Okay. So with this Lovers card, so we all know that it can be a romantic thing sometimes. It can be about connection, profound connections with other people. Sometimes it can be, I mean, originally I believe it was known as the Choice. And it's in between the world, which is like a new beginning. There's a lot of vulnerability in the cards with all these naked people. You've got the burden there. And for me, again, going back to that issue where there's some issue that you're like, oh, well, I've put up with it long enough. Like, say, even if it was something to do with, I don't know why dyslexia is coming up or some kind of issue like that, or, you know, like it could be autism or anything, those kind of learning difficulties, those kind of things, or disabilities, where you're sort of thinking, oh, well, I've put up with it long enough. And it's like a choice between having a new beginning where you're kind of open and vulnerable to a new opportunity, or just sticking with the old burden. Again, that's like, do you believe that things can change? Do you believe that there can be new or better opportunities out there for you? So let's get, do you have a sense of optimism or not, basically? Let's get one more for that. So you have that, okay, yeah. I mean, that wouldn't be a sense of optimism, would it? That 5 of Swords, that can be self-sabotage. It can be where you feel defeated. It can potentially be where other people have put you down, and then that makes you think, oh, it just knocks your confidence, doesn't it? So you feel like there's no point in doing something. So I would say the question with that Sun card for you is, what's not clear for you in terms of your intention? And also, are you optimistic? Do you have a sense of optimism? Let's look at the 8 of Wands and 5 of Pentacles. So that's like the solution, the advice. So again, I spoke of if there's anything where you feel a sense of lack, you're going to need to communicate that with somebody or something around that to help you move forward. So 8 of Wands and 5 of Pentacles, please. We've got the Queen of Wands and the Page of Cups. So right, Page of Cups is a card of expression, emotional expression. So that would be where the communication part comes in. The Queen of Wands, she can be about confidence and determination. She would never feel that 5 of Pentacles. She would be that 8 of Wands where whatever she wants, she's going to go for it. Because sometimes for me, this feels like, imagine if there's a target, I would say, like, you know, like a bullseye or whatever. I don't know if this card could potentially be related to Sagittarius. I mean, I suppose it's because he's doing a bit of archery in there. It might be because, you know, some of the cards have connections to planets and signs as well, and I don't remember those kind of things off by heart at this point in time. But it's like if she has a target, she's going for it. There's nothing holding her back. So again, the confidence, the belief in it, and also the determination as well, and expression of whatever it is you need to overcome or achieve or be successful in general in whatever it is you're dealing with. Anything else? So we've got the Ten of Cups. I mean, that's just your fulfillment, isn't it? Like, that's what you need to go towards your sense of fulfillment, whether it's overall in life or in one particular thing. Magician, that's where you would lack confidence and a feeling of capability. So again, are you optimistic? Do you feel capable? Do you feel like you can overcome this? Or is it just a sense of, oh, again, I've just dealt with it for so long, I might as well just stay as I am kind of energy? Let's just get one more. Are you willing to take a risk? If a risk is necessary. Let's get one for the Seven of Swords. Are you willing to be honest about what's going on as well and open up? Whether it's being honest with yourself, or being honest with someone else. I mean, sometimes this is where we lie to ourselves as well. So sort of telling yourself that you deserve to suffer with something or to continue to suffer. Do you feel that's honest, being honest with yourself, or is that a bit of a lie to you? And that's not a judgment. That's just sort of asking the question. If you've had a problem for a very long time and it causes you stress and pain, but you feel like you might as well just stick with it. Do you feel like that's honourable to you? So Seven of Swords, why is that there? So we've got the Hierophant and the Is It Worth It card. I feel like doing the Hierophant on its own. Let me just get one for the Hierophant on its own as well. Try that again. There we go. So the Hierophant, it's a few different things, isn't it? The Hierophant, it can be rules. And it almost looks like someone running away from the rules there with the Seven of Swords. But it can also be, it can be like a guide or a spiritual teacher as well. So for me right here with the Five of Pentacles in reverse, is it that you are running away from guidance or whatever that you could be getting to help you out with something potentially? I mean, the Hierophant can be associated with institutions like schools and universities as well, or anything else for that matter. I mean, is the NHS an institution? Maybe. The government, yes. So are you running away from help or support from those kind of places? Are you sort of thinking, oh, well, it's not worth it? And really, realistically, that could help you to overcome this energy of sort of not rejecting yourself so much, but sort of leaving yourself out in the cold or allowing yourself to suffer. Would reaching out for help there help you to overcome these issues? Okay, so I'm going to finish with that, and then we're going to go into the last card. So the best outcome, and it's the Ten of Wands, isn't it? So the best outcome is overcoming the burden for you, so that you can become successful or be successful in whatever it is you're trying to do, whether it is something, a sleep related issue, a health related issue, or to do with learning and studying. So the Ten of Wands, and is anybody suffering from anxiety out there as well? And I mean, I've suffered from severe anxiety. I still do. It's not something that ever goes away, but I feel like I've managed it a lot better than in the past. And I didn't realise what it was at first. I thought it was a physical illness, to be honest, because it made me physically ill. And I just thought, I kept on getting tested thinking I've got an autoimmune disease or something. And it was actually, when I did reach out for help and I was diagnosed, it was anxiety. And it was shocking because I don't know, I just didn't know what it was, to be honest. And I am someone who is quite aware and researches things. And for some reason, I just didn't believe I had anxiety. Like if somebody else had come to me and said, such and such is happening to them, I probably would have said, oh, is it anxiety? But for myself, for some strange reason, I just rejected that possibility. So I don't know why I'm bringing that up, but that I think because of the nightmare thing being there, that comes to mind as well, because that can be an element of anxiety, can't it? Sleep issues, insomnia, nightmares, night terrors, those kind of things. And there can be shame around that as well, where you just feel like, well, everybody else is getting on with it, so why can't I? And I have to say, I had that attitude as well. But realistically, when I spoke to people, the reason they're getting on with it is because they're on medication to manage anxiety. And I'm talking people in some high level jobs where I just thought they were getting on with it. No, they were all on medication for anxiety, the same as me. So I don't know why that's relevant to anyone. Feel free to share in the comments if you want to, any stories around that or anything else for that matter. So the 10 of Wands, best outcome is to overcome the burden, overcome the challenge. So the 8 of Cups, I mean, that would be where you've acknowledged that your whatever it is, there's something missing, or you're in a situation that it needs to improve, doesn't it? It needs to be better. You're leaving something behind that isn't serving you anymore. So, well, shall I take that? Okay, yes, we'll take it. We've got the King of Pentacles. That can be a supportive person. Oh God, that's too many. I can't take all of that. Yeah, the King of Pentacles can be someone who can offer practical support, can't they? So if that's something that you need, and financial support potentially as well. Anything else for that 10 of Wands? 3 of Cups, it's a card of support again. The Empress, again, a very nurturing, supportive energy. One more. Anything else? And then this is where you would get your stability, your independence, liberation potentially if anything has held you back. That's where you get that back. So overall, the best outcome would be if you get support, which I really feel that might be a strong thing here in order to be successful. Because successful people, as much as people can be a self-made man or woman or whatever, they haven't literally done everything on their own, have they? There's no possible way for them they could literally do everything on their own to become successful. There's some levels of help involved at some point. So yeah, independence is great, but we can't literally do everything by ourselves. So yeah, I think support is relevant here to overcome the challenge or the burden, whatever that is for you. So I'll leave that there, and I'll just get you a final couple of messages from, first of all, from the Sacred Power reading cards. And I hope this made sense to someone out there. So Sacred Power reading cards for the Salt group. You have the Change card. So this is where something needs to change, and you need to be open to it, I would say. First and foremost, you've got to be open to change, to receive it. And then we have a message from the Postcards from Spirit deck as well. So final message for group 2 who chose Salt. Final message for the group who chose the Salt. Oh no, too many. So let's try that again. Great messages, but that's quite a lot. Final message for the group who chose Salt, please. Right. Okay, I get this already. I can see that because you got quite a few cards to do with optimism, didn't you? Whether you believe things can change or be different, or whether you sort of feel a sense of lack. So it says, we have something, dearest you, we have something exciting to share with you. You are a manifesting master and you don't even know it. There will always be enough of everything that you need in your life: money, opportunities, love, kindness. So whatever you're asking guidance about, have faith. I think I asked the question, didn't I? Do you have faith? Unless I'm imagining that. And be open to the many ways in which you will experience prosperity. Spirit is the source of your supply. The universe is always reflecting back to you what you believe. So whenever you fall into insecurity, you will be shown an illusion as if your fear were real. But the truth is that the universe is abundant. You are and always have been enough, and abundance is your natural state. If you can imagine something consistently as truth, you can and will create it. You are so on the right path now. Keep believing, then the seeing happens, loving you more and more every day. So how much do you believe in your ability to succeed, whether it is to achieve a goal, to overcome a challenge, whether it be a health challenge, a challenge to do with learning, education, anything? That's the question that comes to mind here. So I'll leave it there. Hopefully that was helpful to you. Thank you for watching group number 2 who chose the salt. Feel free to like, share, comment on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. But until the next reading, take care. Welcome back, group number 3, those of you who chose the bottle of sage. So firstly, I just want to say thank you for the support to everyone who watches the video, likes, shares, comments, subscribes to the channel. It's all appreciated. So the first thing I'm going to do before I start, I don't know what these cards are. I didn't look at them when I got them out. So I'm going to read a message from the Moonology deck. So this is just going to sort of give us an idea, the type of energies that we can be working with when we get to, with a new moon in Scorpio specifically, which, as I said, was on the 13th, or it will be on the 13th of November. In the UK, I think it's about 9:27 a.m. So I'm just going to read a message from the Moonology deck. I actually prefer using the book like the deck, should I say, like this, rather than getting the cards out in readings. Not sure why at this point in time, but this is what's working. So let's look at this. It says, work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio. So if you just bear with me while I find that. It says, this card suggests a rebirth. Think of your situation as the phoenix that's rising from the ashes, as the birth, death, rebirth paradigm. That's what Scorpio energy is all about. Whatever you've been through, there's a new start ahead. It might be a little dark. It almost certainly won't be rainbows and unicorns, but it will be deep and transforming. This card also suggests that if you know you are magical, then this is the time to work your magic. It can also herald the start of a sexier time. If you've been experiencing something of a drought, and emotional intimacy is also on the menu. Scorpio is the sign that likes to go deep into body, mind and spirit. So when this card comes up, there's nothing superficial about what's coming your way. Attune to the moon, have some sexy time. Additional meanings for this card: time to let go of a grudge you're holding, move on from jealousy, stop being obsessive, could it be you're being paranoid, and make an investment. The teaching says Scorpio is the sign of death and rebirth, magic and shamans. Its energy is a little bit dark, occult, even scary. Now, all of us like to face the shadow, but Scorpio demands it. In fact, it's through working through your dark side that you can get to the light. And the new moon in Scorpio and the appearance of this card at any other time suggests you need to do that now. So that's just a little hint of the kind of energies that can potentially come up with a new moon in Scorpio. So let's move this out of the way. So sage, as you may know, it's is it a herb? Yeah, because you can cook with it, can't you? I think it's mainly known for purification. It will have other uses as well. So with sage, I suppose you could put it in tea if it's food grade. You can cook with it, obviously. You can burn it, which I hate the smell of. I was all right with it at first, like several years ago when I started using it, and now I can't stand the smell of it burnt. Fresh, I'm fine with it. And what I tend to do, I use it to cleanse the tarot cards. I'll like break it up into tiny pieces or cut it up and sprinkle it on a tray or something, put the cards on, sprinkle some on top, leave it for however many hours. That's one cleansing method. You can also, if you wanted to put it under your pillow for purification, you could use it for that. You could have it as a pouch in your pocket. You could sprinkle it in a bath. You could put it in soap, break it up into little pieces and put it in soap, break it up and put it in candles. There are a bunch of different things you can do with it for purification. It is probably one of the most powerful one of, not the most, but one of the most powerful purification herbs that you can use. But anyway, let's see what cards you've gotten, because as I say, I haven't looked, so I don't know. So you have, wow. Ooh, is that quite a scorpionic card? It says the monster within, if you can read that, internal struggle, personal challenges, wanting to improve. And you also, wow, okay, and I did say is that it's quite a scorpionic card. I'm going to take it up right, because I don't know what way it came out when I shuffled. So the death card, you could be doing some major shadow work and purification with sage. That makes sense. That would be a death and a rebirth, wouldn't it? Purification. So yours looks pretty hardcore, to be honest, so far. We'll see what else comes out. I'm just going to read the smaller part of the message for the monster within. So it says, right, the blessing of this card, knowing our own faults and flaws can give us the tools to transform them into strength. So that goes really well, doesn't it? The curse, unable to find the good in your own mistakes, blind to the potential for change, defining yourself only in negative terms. Working with this card, it says, if you begin to practice discipline each day and create new ways, just making sure I'm recording, new ways of dealing with frustrations and difficulties, you will find your so-called negative traits can be reshaped and who you are will be redefined. Changing yourself is a great purpose. This is yours at the time. This is yours at this time. And I think, well, first of all, in terms of changing yourself, I think it kind of goes with that saying, doesn't it, that you change yourself for yourself, not for anybody else. This thing where it says you will find your negative traits can be reshaped. I feel like that's, you know, when people talk about, well, transmuting energy for a start, and also, what is it? What's the term now? Integrating the shadow side. Yeah, that could reference, could be how you would describe integrating the shadow side as well, if you say your negative traits can be reshaped. But anyway, let's get into it. So let's get you some more tarot cards. So this is the intention here. So looks like a pretty straightforward intention, a need to transform, a need to change, facing the shadows potentially as well. So some other questions I have here. First of all, what will sort of aid in achieving this intention, or moving forward with it, moving towards it? What will help to do this? So that's the first question. So you have the Ace of Wands. I mean, that's inspiration, isn't it, for a start? Like being really inspired and determined. Any challenges, obstacles, blockages or blind spots within this? Let's try that again. That's too many, but I will take the Eight of Wands. So that could be in terms of progression, couldn't it? Maybe you don't know what to do next or which direction to go in. Maybe you're not sure what your target is, a specific target. What's the solution or the guidance here, please? Seven of Wands. So that potentially, that can be resistance. Sometimes that can be resistance. I'm not sure yet until I clarify, but that can be a bit of resistance with, well, the solution wouldn't be resistance itself, but facing any resistance possibly. So what's the best outcome here? I wonder if quite a few, if any Scorpios are watching the video, I wonder if there'll be quite a few Scorpios who've picked number 3, the Sage option. That's coming to mind. Right, best outcome, please. Best outcome. Yeah, you've got the High Priestess. I mean, that's where you go inwards, isn't it? That would in a way be facing the shadows, because it's listening to your intuition, listening to your inner guidance. And then it becomes more powerful. The more you start to listen to your intuition and value it, the more powerful it becomes and helps you in dealing with life in general, basically, doesn't it? So let's get more clarification on the Death card. I mean, does it need more? I don't know, maybe it'll give us more detail. So why is anything else? That's, to me, that feels like facing the shadows. I mean, The Nine of Wands, it is a card, like the still standing card. Sometimes for me it looks like reluctance and fear. But it feels like the willingness. Even if there's fear, it's kind of a willingness. Willingness to keep going. This could be where you've identified that something needs to change and you're willing to try, I would say, first stuff. Anything else? Maybe it's facing your fears as well, potentially. So you also have the Ten of Wands. I'd say that's a desire to release the burdens. So that would be what you could potentially be what you consider to be negative traits, or negative, not necessarily just within your personality, but in your life too. If there's anything in your life that you feel is negative or doesn't serve you, it's willing to sort of face that and address that. I may look at the Wheel of Fortune in reverse on its own. Anything else? So you've got the Nine of Pentacles, and I have a thought and I'll just see what comes after that. Oh no, do I want to take that? Yeah, I'm going to take them. So a few things for that Nine of Pentacles. It could be getting out of your comfort zone. So shadow work is definitely getting out of your comfort zone, isn't it? That stuff is not pretty. If anybody's ever done shadow work and it was easy or cool, I'd love to hear that story, but usually it's a bloody nightmare, isn't it? So that would be coming out of your comfort zone, or it is potentially freeing yourself from the things that where you want to improve, say again, the negative traits. It's not that it's not that you can completely dismiss them, but again, that whole thing about reshaping, integrating, transmuting, however you want to put it. You also have the Ace of Swords. Wow, that's about facing the truth, isn't it? And then you've got the Queen of Pentacles, so that can be to do with reassessing your values, what you value about yourself, what you value about life. Let's look at the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and the Seven of Wands. So why is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse here? Is it just about the desire to change things, that things are not as you want them to be at present, but you are willing to change? I feel that's like a willingness to change, because the King of Pentacles, it's someone that's willing to build, isn't it? Like, even if he has very, very little, he's a self-made person. So he would have started out with the Page with very little, the Page of Pentacles with very little, and built his way up from there. The Chariot, it can be connected to discipline, victory, alignment for me sometimes, confidence, courage potentially. It feels like a willingness to change things for the better. Why is the Seven of Swords, Seven of Wands there, please? Is that just a willingness to fight, to change, a willing to stand up for it? Or is that a willingness to overcome any resistance? Willingness to overcome any resistance, and we get the Four of Pentacles. This may be where you've resisted the change before. You may have resisted the change before. You've got the Six of Cups there. Yeah, so that's about the past. And then the Three of Pentacles is where you collaborate, isn't it? But sometimes it can be about mind, body and soul working together more effectively as well. And I said alignment sometimes for me with the Chariot. That would be where you get your mind and spirit in alignment too. So that could be willing to overcome any resistance as well within yourself to that. I mean, in the past you may have been like, oh no, I don't need to change this, or I don't want to change this, or even just, how do I change this? But yeah, I think there's a more openness and inspiration and willingness to transform at this point in time here with this. And as we said at the beginning, Sage is a powerful thing when it comes to purification. So I shouldn't be that surprised that such a powerful energy has come out here. So let's put these on top of that Death card. So the Ace of Wands, I said, was inspiration. You're inspired to do this. It looks more like it's your own inspiration. Nobody's pushed you. I mean, obviously people do inspire us, but it still has to come from us as well, doesn't it? It's like something they said may have made you feel inspired. It's not that they've literally said, do this and you do it. So let's look at that Ace of Wands. Try that again. So feeling inspired. What will help you? It's a strength, is being inspired. So you've got the Eight of Swords there. That's determination for me with the Queen of Wands. if you don't already feel inspired to change, that might be something that you need to think about, and to kind of get yourself into that frame of mind. That's just come to mind as well. There may be something here for someone who's transforming in terms of how you interact with other people, actually. And there could be two ways that that could go. So the first way, if you're someone who sort of hides, like you're a wallflower, that's the easiest way to say it. So if you're a wallflower, when interacting with other people, you may feel that you need to transform. And it's not that you suddenly become a huge introvert and make yourself the center of attention. It could be that, to be honest, putting yourself in the spotlight. But yeah, not shying away and allowing yourself to be in the spotlight, even if it's just sometimes allowing yourself to be seen, allowing yourself to be heard, whatever that is for you. For some people, yes, it would be like walking into the room like Liza Minnelli, singing on the top of your voice, dancing to get attention. For others, it could be you're having basic discussions in groups and you just speak up, you speak more freely. It could be that. What was the other thing I was going to say? If you are someone who feels that you, okay, this is going to sound a bit harsh, but if you are someone that feels like you may be selfish, whether it is that you genuinely do put yourself first too much, is that even possible? Probably, yeah. If you feel like you do put yourself first too much, or I've lost track of what I was going to say there. But yeah, in terms of if you feel you're too selfish, it's about creating more of a balance. Like say, even if you're not an absolutely completely selfish person, you may feel like you just want to give more, like you keep to yourself too much or something. I think that's the best way to put it. But that might be something that someone out there is trying to transform. I mean, you've got the Seven of Wands there, and that's a solution. Maybe part of the solution is letting people in more. Maybe you are resistant to letting people in, and there can be valid reasons for that. Sometimes it is because you've had shitty experiences and you just feel like all people are shit. But then obviously we know that's not true. We know that there are good people out there in the world and people that are genuine and caring and inspiring. And it may be about being more open to that. But let's see what else comes out after that. But that came to mind with that Queen of Wands next to the Three of Cups. Let's try that again. Right, so you've got the Judgment card. I mean, as something that's clarifying that Ace of Wands that was there, that's just where you're called to change things, called to try something differently, to do something differently. And that Five of Swords actually could relate to what I was just talking about. So there may be something for someone where you need to transform your interactions with other people. As I said, maybe you could potentially be overbearing, or maybe it's that you're not assertive enough with other people. So let's put that on top of that Ace of Wands. So let's look at the eight of Wands now. So this is like the challenge, the obstacle. And I said that's about the challenge, it's movement, isn't it? Maybe you don't know how to change. Maybe you don't know exactly what to change, like specifics. Maybe there's something that's holding you back still. Oh. Right, we've got the Empress that has fallen right across the room for some strange reason. So for anyone that is a wallflower and that shies away in the background, this could be here, telling you to put yourself in the spotlight more, to allow yourself to be seen more, and to put your needs first more as well, if you are not someone who prioritizes themselves. Yeah, well, shall we take it? Yeah, okay. Okay, so I am going to do something for the Hierophant on its own. So you've got a sense of anxiety there. So that's something that would probably need to be overcome, whether it's anxiety about changing or about your situation. Again, if you were someone who was quite shy and in the background, there may be a need to overcome anxiety there. You've got the Devil, that's what holds you back, and it's next to the Hierophant. So is it rules that are holding you back? Let's have a look. Okay, let's get one more after the Devil, and then I'll look at that Hierophant on its own. That's just about the change, isn't it? The Death card, the need to change this. Why is that Hierophant there, please? Why is the Hierophant there? Oh, so that's potentially an authority figure, isn't it? Is that now? Is there somebody in your life now that's an authority figure that you feel holds you back and makes you feel anxious? Is it something from your childhood, from your past, a person from your past that has you know, like when you have certain, I don't know if it's rules, traditions, whatever in your family, because it could be someone's father actually, or a father figure or something like that, and that sticks in your mind as you grow up. There might be a particular thing in the family where, oh, this, our family, this is what we do, you know, that kind of thing, but you want to get out of that. What is your relationship like with authority figures? Are you someone that's a bit of a rebel? Do you need to be less of a rebel? I don't know. You'll know. The Hierophant, let's see. That's definitely about authority though, with the Hierophant and the King of Swords there. Is there anyone you need to stand up to who's an authority figure? Oh, this is the rebel, isn't it? The Knight of Wands. That is the rebel. Do you need to be a rebel or less of a rebel? You'll know. I mean, I said the Empress could be where you might need to put yourself in the spotlight more and to prioritize yourself, but this could also be saying that you, for the if the opposite side where you put yourself first too much, that could be where you need to be more, a little bit more nurturing towards others. So there could be charity work involved in this actually, for someone out there, that could help you to transform, one way of giving to others. So the Hierophant, have you kind of been focused on yourself too much? And sometimes that can happen. It can happen without you realizing it, couldn't you? Like, you know, if you were very focused, like say, I guess work would be like a big thing where if you're very career focused and ambitious and you're just determined to pursue a certain career path and you're really focused, or you've got all of your energy focused on that, you could end up neglecting other people in your life and other areas of your life without even realizing it. It could be just that you're so hyper focused on something. This can happen for creative people as well, can't it? Where they're so focused on their creations that they kind of lose track. It's not that they're a nasty person or anything, but they sort of lose track of everyone else in their life there. And then when they go to look at their phone, they've got a million missed calls, and yeah, that can happen as well. Let's get one after that Page of Cups, because that for me is often, it's a card of vulnerability, isn't it? So there is something with an authority figure here, and only you will know what that connection is, but there's something regarding your relationship with a specific authority figure or authority figures in general. You could be someone who hates people telling you what to do, to be honest, and yeah, there might be a need for you to be a bit more vulnerable with that. So you've got the Four of Cups and the Six of Wands. That could, as I say, that could be where you don't like being told what to do, potentially. But then it could also be on the other side of things, we're getting a duality type message again, where you need to stand up for yourself more, and you are allowed to reject opportunities or what people say to you, tell you to do. You know, you don't have to accept everything, especially if you are someone who's a bit of a people pleaser. So I guess you'll know your situation individually, but there's something that needs to change here. For you to move forward, there's something that needs to change here in relation to your relationship with an or some authority figures, I feel. Okay. So let's move on to the solution. So we've got the Seven of Wands, and I said that could be where you need to open up a little bit more. There may be a bit of resistance, possibly. Could be where you need to stand up for yourself more if you don't do that already, but let's see. What else do the cards need to tell us about that Seven of Wands? Maybe you need to embrace your spiritual side more. That's something that's coming to mind, seeing the Seven of Wands next to the High Priestess. And to kind of value it more, because the Seven of Wands could be protecting something sacred, and your intuition is sacred, isn't it? Your spirituality is sacred. Your relationship with that as an individual is sacred. So you've got the Seven of Pentacles. I mean, that's the classic, is it worth it? Can be where you've put your time and energy into something, but there are usually questions around, is it worth it? You've got this, again, it's another card of, is it worth it? Looking at different perspectives, which one, which option, which opportunity, which dream is worth it. Knight of Pentacles. I mean, that's where you commit to a path, isn't it? Where you commit to something, where you're responsible and diligent. You've got the Four of Swords. It could be determination in terms of committing to whatever it is that you want to change or heal or transform. That's one possibility here. Because the Seven of Wands can be about standing up for things. It can be resistance, but it can be standing up for things as well. And then you've got the Ten of Pentacles at the end. So that's where you have like, it can be legacy. It's like a solid, it's like a solid life. I can't think of another way to say that. It's long-term stability. That's the term I'm trying to think of. What do you need to commit to, and what do you need to heal or resolve for long-term stability? And that could be, it could be financial long-term stability. It could be your own sense of independence, although I know it's often shared, like legacy type shared stability. But what is long-term stability to you, I think, is one of the key things to ask. Let's look at this Seven of Cups, actually, because as I said, those are questions of, is something worth it? So it's like, so say if again, is it resistance or is it standing up for something? Let's look at the Seven of Cups. Are you resisting facing what you need to heal or commit to for long-term stability, or are you willing to fight for it? So what am I doing? I'm doing the Seven of Cups. We've got the Two of Swords and the Page of Wands. So that would be where you need to be open to possibilities, to opportunities, to perspectives, to different perspectives. Let's get one more for that Seven of Cups. That's that collaboration card, or card of collaboration again, where it can be about getting heart, mind and soul, or body, mind and soul into alignment with each other. It can be working with others as well, but like not necessarily at work. But remember what I said about the something, could be something here about your relationship with authority figures. That could come into play here as well. We've got the let's look at the Seven of Pentacles on its own. So here, that's a strange one. I suppose it's looking at the perspectives. There could be something to do with your identity here. Intuition comes to mind again with this Two of Swords. I'm going to say for this one, it's about alignment. And probably more so that whole mind, body and spirit thing in terms of transforming. How do you get all of that into alignment? Let's look at the Seven of Pentacles on its own as well. So you've got the Eight of Cups. So I've said it's a card of, is it worth it? So what do you need to leave? Okay, what do you need to leave behind? What's dissatisfying to you that you need to leave behind? And what do you now need to commit to for your sense of long-term stability and a stronger sort of foundation that will build you a strong legacy? What do you want to leave behind? You know, when you're on your deathbed, I know we probably don't like to think about that, but who do you want to be known as? What do you want to be known for? Those are questions that come to mind. Right, so final one for the Seven of Hope, isn't it? It's hopes, wishes, dreams. What's worth it, and what do you need to leave behind to go towards that? Okay, so the solution, I would say then, I think it's going to be a two-sided, a double-edged sword. It's a case of, what are you resisting? So what are you resisting leaving behind, and what are you willing to fight for? That's the solution, I think, is the best I can describe that. Hopefully that's enough to make sense for you and your individual situation. So let's take these off, because these are the like sub-clarifiers. And I think I've taken an extra one that I didn't mean to take. It was that one, wasn't it? What aspect of yourself are you willing to leave behind or needing to leave behind? More to the point. Let's look at that High Priestess. So that is the best outcome for you. So I'm just getting the cards back in. So the High Priestess, what is the best outcome? So the High Priestess, that, I mean, I think initially I said that's where you trust your intuition more and listen to your intuition, you follow your intuition, and your inner guidance, you build a stronger relationship with that. So we've got the 10 of Cups, the 8 of Wands. So the first thing that's coming to mind is, say if you're a person, so we've got that authority figure thing coming back to mind. Whatever you're doing in life, whatever you pursue in life, whatever you think is your happiness or your long-term stability, what's the foundation of that? Like, what is that based on? Is that based on what you genuinely believe in and value, or is that based on what someone else expects of you? Like, so it could be an authority figure, it could be what the government expects of you, or if whatever country you live in, it could be the rules of your country, the rules of society. You know, those kinds of things are your perceptions about what is true happiness and true stability and whatever it is for you. Where does that come from? Is it from you? Is it from your own sense of inner knowing and beliefs, or is it external to you? Because that's coming to mind, because it's making me think with these coming up for the High Priestess, are you using your inner guidance to lead you towards whatever it is that you want in life? And as I always say, it's not about, in terms of being selfish, selfish is a funny word. Yes, it could be completely disregarding other people's feelings, but it can also be just putting yourself first. And that doesn't mean that you completely neglect everybody else and disregard their feelings, but it's just about making sure that life and your life is fair to you, as more, like probably more so than other people. Again, not as in neglecting their needs, but just what's the point of living if your whole life is for, you know, it's for the benefit of others? Because then that's not balanced, is it? If it's completely for the benefit of others. I mean, I know, like, obviously if you're a parent and stuff like that, it's like people will say my children come first, and I'm a parent as well. But I remember years ago someone saying to me, oh, but you have to look after yourself first. And I was like, I didn't get it. I was like, well, what do you mean? My kid comes first. But then it's like, well, if you don't look after yourself and something happens to you, how the hell are you going to look after your child? And I was like, yes, okay, I get it now. And that's not just physically. Like, obviously we need to look after our physical health and make sure we eat, because then we won't physically be able to do anything. But even our emotional and mental health as well, if we neglect that, then that's where you end up with issues, and you can't you're not capable of doing whatever it is that you want to do, whether it is looking after your children or anything else in your life. You do have to put yourself first, otherwise you have nothing to give. You get to it, even if it takes time. Like, some people, they can go for years, decades, even taking care of everybody else, and then unfortunately they can end up getting ill because they've kind of thought, oh well, I'm fine, I'm getting on with it, so it's fine, I'm doing all right. And then it has an impact. The body, I believe that the body does keep score, and it gets to the point where your body kind of conks out and says, no, we can't do it anymore. So you do kind of have to put yourself first. But anyway, don't know why I've gone on that rant. So again, that whole thing, mind, body and soul, is coming to mind with this Three of Pentacles. Are they all in alignment? Is your shared happiness, do you really have shared happiness with other people, or is it one of those things where, again, if you're more concerned about other people's happiness, or are you only concerned about your own happiness? Like, what's the balance there? So you've got the Star and you have the Page of Wands. You may need to do a bit of I'll say soul searching, but identity exploration as well. I'm getting with that Page of Wands. You might have to do an exploration into your identity in order to transform and see if there's anything that needs to heal, and see where your beliefs and values have come from. That is coming to mind here. I'm going to leave that there because I think that's enough, to be honest. I think that's sufficient. So best outcome is that you build a stronger relationship with your own intuition, and then that guides you in life in terms of knowing who you are, what you really want to achieve, in collaborating, cooperating with other people, and having balanced relationships. So I'm going to get you a final card of advice from the Sacred Power deck. So final card of advice for group 3 who chose the Sage, the Bottle of Sage. Right, yeah, I'm going to leave. So the last card, you got 3. The last one, Animal Kingdom. I mean, I can keep, okay, I'll give you all three because I think they're all relevant, and I'm not going to read all of the messages from each of them. So personal power, I mean, that's again for those of you who are wallflowers. Do you need to gain your power back? Do you need to gain your personal power back? Reflection, that for me is where you go inwards, isn't it? And you, as I said, you may need to do some soul searching, identity, exploration of your identity. It's reflecting on whatever it is that you want to change in your life. What needs to change, again, where do your values come from, what's happiness to you, those kind of things. Let me just see if there's anything else. I'm not going to read the message, I'll just have a look because I want to read a postcard from Spirit for you instead. It's about seeing the truth as well. So this could, again, if there is anybody, right, so this references separating yourself from the pack in order to gain perspective. So again, I think I mentioned needing to think about at the very beginning or nearer to the beginning your interactions with other people. Like, are you overbearing, or do you hide yourself away? I think that's the first thing that came to mind. And figuring out patterns and relationships between yourself and other people. Okay, that's an interesting one. So yeah, personal power. So this reading may be more for the wallflower type people than the ones who are needing to get into that Empress energy. But I still think both are potentially relevant. Yeah, this one's about reclaiming your power. The Animal Kingdom one, that's about instinct, I believe. I think that's instinct. Keep it simple and stay focused. Listen to your instinct. So that's that intuition thing. So the only part I'm gonna read for this is there's a bit at the end and it says to focus on the animals on here, and then it gives some messages for the animals, and this might help you to establish what it is you need to let go or what you need to fight for. So focus on the image. Which animal are you drawn to? So you've got a bear, a wolf, is that an eagle there, an owl, and a deer, is it? Yeah, that's all of them. So which animal are you drawn to? If you feel like you need to pause the video, go ahead. Right, so if you were drawn to the bear, there's something around hibernation, strength and confidence, challenges ahead. The wolf, there may be something relevant for you around seeing the truth, being cautious, following your intuition. The owl is about higher wisdom, observation, dreaming and transition. The deer is about family, gentleness, unconditional love and speed. And the eagle is about perspective, call to source and patience. So that might be relevant. Whichever animal you're drawn to, that might give you clues on what it is you're transforming, or what will help, or what you need to release or embrace, to be honest. So let's get you, try that again. Just give that one more shuffle. A final card of guidance from the Postcards from Spirit deck. Try that again. So your message says, right, dearest you, pump up the music, bang the drums, get on up and start that hustle toward your goals and dreams. So that's that inspiration, isn't it? To change things. There are times to be still, but this is not one of them. Now is the time to make that first move. Say yes to life, pick up the phone, make that decision, and take that one step forward toward the gods, or us. Expect a cascade of changes, good news and opportunities to show up as if by magic. Well, we know it's really Spirit and all of us moving things around for your benefit. The point is that we are saying go for it. Take positive action toward your dreams. Even if the outcome isn't an exact fit for your agenda, it will all be orchestrated by Spirit and arrive in divine appropriate timing. Don't you just love how it all works? We love you so, so much. So I'll put that one there. Yeah, I think that's it then. Hopefully that was helpful for you, group number 3, who chose the bottle of sage. Thank you for watching the video. It's appreciated. Feel free to like, share or comment on the video. You're also welcome to subscribe to the channel again, and I think I will be doing more pick a card readings. I do quite enjoy them. It's quite new to me still, so it's sort of I'm feeling my way through it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, until the next reading, take care.